Hello all, good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes.
All right, should we start?
Yes, we can start.
Right, just a sec. Okay, very warm good afternoon to everyone. I am Dietitian Swati. I'm working as senior dietitian at Jupiter Hospital, heading the team of dietitians here. Just a brief introduction about myself. I have done masters in clinical nutrition and I'm a registered dietitian practicing in this field since 14 years. So today we are going to handle a very important and very sensitive topic, that is how to improve the immunity and productivity of our kids, especially when they are back to physical school. So I really want this to be an interactive session rather than just one-sided conversation. Okay. So any questions, any queries, any inputs in between, let's make it a discussion. Okay, rather than a typical presentation. All right. So let's start. So yes, the kids are back to physical school, and of course, the point which helps keeps in wandering into our minds is now they're back to school. So what about the infection? What about their diet? What about their homework? And automatically over last 2 years, the screen time has increased. So how to cope up with that as well, right? So very importantly, as a clinical person, I feel that during the school years, there are a lot many physical changes that take place into our kids, physically, physiologically, mentally, biologically, and as well as the cognitive development, right? And into all of these changes, what is the most important part is the nutrition, because that is something you are giving to your body so that it can flourish, it can nourish, it can grow. It's just like how we fertilize a seed, right? And the way we fertilize it, the way we take care of it, the plant is going to grow. Similarly, the way we take care of our kids, they are going to flourish and they are going to grow in that manner, right? So very important aspect in their growth is the nutrition. In that, malnutrition, that is either the overnutrition, that is excessive nutrient intake, or undernutrition, that is lesser nutrient intake, these both have very critical impacts or serious impacts on their growth, on their memory, on their productivity, and on their total overall development, right? So both the aspects are equally important for me as a dietitian, that is undernutrition as well as the overnutrition. So today we are going to discuss the nutrition in all, to see whether our kids are healthy, whether our kids are doing well, whether our kids are developing well, and whether they are getting the proper nutrition which they require at their particular age which they are in, right? So let us understand first, when I speak about the malnutrition, what is nutrition basically? Nutrition, it's an act or process, it's a science of nourishing your body, right? There are three important steps which I always talk about into even my consultations, that there are always three steps in nutrition. The first is intake of food. Are you taking the right food in right quantity? So quality and the quantity of food both are equally important. The second aspect is the digestion. So the first is intake, second is the digestion, and the third part is the absorption or assimilation of nutrients. Each step is critical. It has its own significance, and we have to make sure that all of them are in place so that the kid is healthy, so that the kid is disease free, right? Intake of the food, as I said, quality and the quantity of the food. Breakdown or the digestion of the food, I always say when we speak about nutrition, and if we think that the human body is a factory, then all the organs are different machineries, different machines in that factory. And the gut or the digestive system, it becomes the receiving point, it becomes the go down of that factory. So if the go down itself is faulty, it has leakages, it doesn't have proper protection, definitely the raw material, whatever it is receiving, is not going to get processed properly. Same thing happens with the food. If the food is received properly, but the receiving point, that is the gut, the digestive system, is not working properly, there is no use of all the good nutrition you're giving to your kid. So the digestion or the digestive system of every individual is critical. It is very, very important. Almost 90% of all the diseases or all the health issues, if we try to find the root cause, we find that digestion or the faulty digestive system or the poor gut is the major reason for that. So it is very, very important that along with the intake of food, the breakdown of the food or the digestion of the food takes place properly, right? And the third and the most important thing is the absorption or storage or assimilation of the nutrients. If the food is taken in properly, it is digested properly, but the storage is not happening properly. The body is not able to store it. Of course, the body is not able to use it as well whenever it is required, right? So the storage of the nutrients, whether it is in muscles, whether it is in liver, whether it is in any body part, is equally important. The body should understand and do the job of storing or preserving the nutrients properly and using them at the right point of time whenever required, right? So these three steps are very important when we speak about nutrition about our kids. So let us understand what is malnutrition. We saw nutrition. Malnutrition, again, it is the imbalance of the nutrients which are required and the nutrients which the kid or the human is taking in. It is the imbalance. Either the requirements are more and the intake is less, or it's vice versa. That is, the intake is more and the requirements are lesser. In both the cases, it is the malnourishment of the body. And that is itself, like under as well as over, they have their own side effects and their own complications. We don't want our kids to be on the either sides. We want them to be healthy. They should be well nourished. All right. So when I say I want my kids to be healthy or we want our kids to be healthy, what do I mean? What is the definition of the health? So health is not the mere absence of any disease or infirmity, but it is a complete physical, mental, as well as social well-being of an individual. It applies to our kids also. It's just not that the kid is not falling sick many times. The kid is just active. No, it is the absolute physical, mental, social well-being of the kid. Okay. So it is not that the kid is not ill means he is healthy. No, not really. The kid might have many issues, right? So we must address them, tackle them, go to the root cause, find the answer, and deal with it, right? So when we understand the definition of health, when we understand what is malnourishment, do we think that are our kids really healthy? Is this question striking any one of us? Right? Are our kids really healthy? Yes or no? That's the question, right? So when I really want to see or understand, is my kid healthy? What parameters I look for? The first and the foremost important thing is here, the weight of the kid. For all the pediatric cases or the pediatric age group, we always consider the age of the kid and the weight of the kid. Okay, so whether the kid is having ideal weight or not, the first criteria to see whether the kids are healthy, it is weight of the kid. Okay, so I think the table is not that clear and visible to all of us, but I'll just read it out for you. For the age group of 7 to 9, the boys should be in the range of 25 to 26 kgs. Okay, for girls, it is around the same. Then the girls in 10 to 12 years of age, it is around 36. So if your kid is in this age group, that is ideally or normally the range of the weight the kid should be. Okay, so for 7 to 9, it is 25. For 10 to 12, it is 34 to 36. For 13 to 15, it is around 45 to 50, depending on the height of the kid, of course, right? But if the kid is really very underweight or obese or overweight, then that is the point where you need to take care of. So if your kid is in the range of like around, he or she is 10 years old, right? Then the weight should be around 25 to 30 kgs. Okay. If the kid is above 12 years of age, the weight should be around 35 to 38 kgs, right? So that is the criteria or the range of weight which we expect our kids to be in. I'll share this table with all of you later so that you all are aware of their daily requirements or the ideal weight the kids should be. This table is generated by ICMR, that is Indian Council of Medical Research. This is what we follow for all our Indian kids. And this is ideally the requirement and the expectation of our kids' nourishment on daily basis, of course, right? So now let us go ahead. If the kid is not healthy, that is not in the normal weight, if the kid is overweight or underweight, if the kid is not getting all the micronutrients on the daily basis, then there are some complications which arise due to this. And these common issues are, of course, overnourishment, childhood obesity, the major problem we are facing right now. Anemia, very common in girls as well as in boys. You see that the energy levels are lesser, the dark circles, the hair fall, the dry skin, lack of energy levels, short-term memory, right? All of these are the implications of B12 and iron deficiency, that is anemia, right? Then very important, frequent infections they have. If the kid is not healthy, the kid might fall sick again and again. It's just not the cough and cold, but many times they have loose motions, diarrhea, or sometimes constipation is there, lack of sleep is there, lack of confidence is there, the energy levels are always dropped down. Even if after they wake up in the morning, they do not feel fresh. So all of these are the implications of malnourishment. Specifically, the micronutrient intake is lesser and the macronutrient intake is higher in these cases. So that is the imbalance. We are going to see everything in detail in the later slides. Okay. And of course, the calcium deficiency in kids also nowadays, we find that frequent fracture cases are there. Why does this happen? Because there is undernourishment of the body. The calcium status, the vitamin D status of these kids are, it's very poor, because of which they are more susceptible to the fractures. All right. So let us speak about the diet. We saw what is nutrition, we saw what is health, we saw either our kids are healthy or not healthy. Now we know kind of, my kid is underweight, overweight. Yes, he's facing some issues with the health, facing some issues with the eating habits, picky eater, cranky eater, not liking the food, wants the variety, wants more of junk food. All of these, every house's story, right? So let us find out the answers to this. Let's talk about the diet, the most important part. I truly believe that if the diet is taken care, if a balanced diet rather than healthy or very rigid diet, I always say find the balance. So if a balanced diet is opted, believe me, your kids will not fall sick. Believe me, they will have good productivity in their exams. They'll have good scores or good performance in the sports they are involved in, right? So let's speak about that. Let us see, how do we find the balance? This is the food pyramid. The things which are listed at the base of the pyramid has to be taken in more quantity, all right? And the things at the tip of the pyramid should be sparingly taken or should be restricted. They should be taken into very lesser amount, all right? So the base always needs to be stronger. Every one of us know that, right? So at the base, if you see, it is more of the fruits and vegetables, multicolor thing. Include more of the natural colors into our kids' diet. Make it a rainbow color diet for the kids, not the artificial colors, the natural colors I'm saying, right? Next to that, it is grains and nuts and seeds, right? So include the grains because they act as the major source of energy, calories into their diets. They're highly active, also need to work a lot, need to study a lot, need to move a lot. Their calorie requirements are higher. Almost 2000 to 2400 calories is the daily calorie requirement for the growing kids. So we have to make sure that they get that much of calorie. So that's the quantity. What about the quality? They should get the good calories, not the bad calories, not the empty calories, right? So if I want to give my kid around 2000 calories, I give that much. At the same time, I make sure it is equally qualitative calorie intake, right? Then if you see, a next level is the protein intake. That is, if you are non-vegetarian, the kid eats non-veg, then the egg or the lean meat can be included, or the milk and milk products, paneer, soy can be included into the diet. Then sparingly, very less, very limited quantity at the tip is the processed food, junk food. Sometimes is the word which I give for this. not on the daily basis, not 2 times or 3 times a week, not allowed. It is sometimes. Okay. So we will discuss how do we find the balance and how do we make it sometimes. If something wrong is coming into the factory, into the go down, then what we need to do? How do we clean the go down? How do we replenish, re-energize the gut system, the digestive system? That is also equally important, because if the energy levels or the digestive juices are not secreting properly, in Sanskrit we call it as Agni, right? If that is not maintained properly, then definitely the digestion is going to get affected, right? So now I spoke about the pyramid, wherein we found that at the base it has to be more of fruits, vegetables, and grains. At the tip, it has to be the fat intake, right? Now let us divide that pyramid into the simpler words. What are the major nutrients for my kids? It's carbohydrates, proteins, and micronutrients. Very important. Okay. Carbohydrates, they are going to provide all the energy at the cellular level. Each cell can use glucose as the source of energy, right? So carbohydrates make an important part of our food for kids as well. Around 50 to 70% of the carbs can be included. The energy from total food, out of that, the 50 to 70% of the energy can come from carbohydrates, depending on the activity level of the kid. Okay. Carbohydrates, they also help in promoting the growth and maintaining the normal functioning of all the organs, specifically brain, because the brain can use only glucose as a source of energy. So specifically before exams, specifically before some sports events or some tests, definitely make sure you include good quality carbohydrates into the diet. Good quality is very important here. All right. Then is the proteins. Proteins are the building blocks of the body. Every bit of our body, be it nails, hair, skin, organs, muscles, cells, everything is made up of proteins, right? So for proteins, you have to make sure the kid gets good quality protein intake. The recommended protein intake for the age group of 10 to 12 or 10 to 14 is around 45 to 49 grams of proteins. I'm taking a middle age group, okay, so that it is, you can just manage what is needed for a 15-year kid or what is needed for a 6 or 7-year-old kid, right? So proteins very, very important because these are the building blocks. All right. These are required on daily basis. There is daily wear and tear of the body tissue, body cells, and because of which you really need to take in good quality protein on a daily basis. All the micronutrients required on a daily basis. You can't say that, okay, I've taken a nutrient on Monday and then let me wait till next Monday. No, on daily basis, you need to replenish all the energy stores, all the nutrient stores, right? Then very important is the micronutrients, that is vitamins and minerals. As the kids are growing, their requirements are higher, right? If the kid is involved into some sports or if the kid is involved into some more of intellectual activities, requirements are even higher. If the kid is facing some clinical illness or having some infection, requirements are higher, right? So vitamins and minerals, in vitamins, it's mostly fat soluble vitamins and water soluble vitamins. In simpler words, water soluble vitamins is all the B complex vitamins, okay? B1, B2, B6, B7, B8, B12, all of them. Fat solubles, that is vitamin A, D, E, K. All of them are required in good quantity. You can't just support the body with calories. The calories won't be utilized if the micronutrients are not there, because micronutrients are involved in the biochemical digestion of all these macronutrients. Micronutrients are involved in maintaining the health of all the organs, in metabolism, in digestion, in assimilation, in circulation. They also act as the building blocks, right? They are involved in the synthesis of different hormones in the body. So when your kid is undergoing the hormonal changes close to the puberty, you have to make sure that the micronutrient intake of the kid is very, very good. How do we do that? We are going to discuss that. But right now, just from the zest from the food pyramid is the major macronutrients which you need is carbs and proteins, and in micros it's vitamins and minerals we must look for on day-to-day basis. Okay, now let us bring it down to the food plate. We talked about the pyramid, we talked about the nutrients. Let's bring it down to the food plate. This is how the food plate should look like. Okay, if you see, almost 50% is the fiber, or you can say the leafy vegetables along with the fiber or the different combinations of vegetables, right? 25% to 30% goes to the protein intake. Okay, and then again 30 to 35% in the tiffin boxes I'm talking about, it goes to the grains or the carbohydrate intake. Okay, in total days intake, like total throughout the day, around 30 to 60% of the calories should come from carbohydrates. When I say carbohydrates, what do I mean? It's either the cereals or the grains, pulses, legumes, all of them, fruits, vegetables, all of them have carbohydrates. When I speak about proteins, it is specifically milk proteins, that is paneer, curd, buttermilk, or else it's the soy protein. If non-vegetarian, all the non-vegetarian food items along with nuts and seeds. When I speak about lipids, what do I mean? It's the vegetable oil which we use for cooking along with ghee, and the non-vegetarian food item has its natural fat. So that also. So now we know that to find the balance, we have to follow this proportion 30 to 60%, 25 and 25, right? We talked about the macronutrients here, that is the carbohydrates, proteins and lipids, that is the fat. These are the major energy chunk. These are the major building blocks of our body. For kids, these are the major energy sources. So you can't manage or balance, plan a diet without these three nutrients. I personally believe that all of these three must be included into the kids' diet. You can't skip any one of this. Okay. And then after balancing the macronutrients, the micronutrients, that is vitamins and minerals. As I spoke about it, they are required in very minute quantities. That's why the name micronutrients. But if you see their role, it is major. They are required, their role is very, very vital. So if the particular vitamin deficiency is there, you see the symptoms are pretty much visible, and even the functionality of the body is affected, even if they're required in micrograms per day. Iron, for an example, folic acid, vitamin B12, vitamin A, vitamin D. There are a number of examples. Because of the deficiency of these micronutrients, kids can face huge issues: muscle cramps, lethargy, poor digestion, lack of concentration, lack of sleep, anxiety. All of these are also correlated with magnesium deficiency, with B12, iron, folic acid deficiency, with hormonal imbalances. For hormone synthesis, again, you need good quality protein and good quality micronutrients in the diet, right? So for growing kids, it's very important that we include good amount of micronutrients also, the foods which are rich sources of micronutrients. So these are the sources of micronutrients, specifically the foods which are going to help us with all the vitamins and minerals in the diet. I personally think bring in more color into the food plate, the natural color, orange, yellow, red, green, purple, white, all the food colors. So important. Every color has a particular antioxidant or has a particular vitamin that is going to boost the immunity, that is going to boost the digestion of the food, whatever you are taking in, and that is going to maintain the energy levels, right? So if you see few examples here, citrus food, all the citrus fruits which are rich in vitamin C, excellent for the body, specifically into this COVID era. Very, very recommended, highly recommended, because it acts as an immune booster. Also, it acts as a cleanser for the blood. Okay. The common word which is famous right now is detox, right? So all of these act as detoxifying agents, as well as they help building the internal cells or the muscles or the enzymes, hormones inside the body, and just strengthen the body, nourish the body. Okay. Green leafy vegetables, if you see in the slide itself, you can see different colors, right? So that's what I want into the food plate as well. Dark green leafy vegetables, make sure at least one vegetable is included. Now, many times I get a question, हरी सब्जियां बिल्कुल नहीं खाता है या खाती है, right? How do we cope up with this? You can add these greens into some different recipes, like tikkis can be made, parathas can be made, theplas can be made, right? And make sure at least 50 to 100 grams of greens are included into their diet, right? Or even in the rice preparations, like pudina rice can be made, mint rice can be made, palak rice can be made, tomato rice can be made, sprouts rice or pulao or khichdi can be made. So all of these combinations will enhance the nutrition quality of the food also, right? Nuts and seeds, very important part of the diet. Never miss them, specifically for kids. Oatmeals, again, a good calorie source. Specifically, I have included this for people, for kids who are gluten sensitive. Kids who cannot really digest wheat can tolerate oats to some extent, or even gluten-free oats are available in the market that can be opted for kids. All right. So that gives a good energy source, calorie or carbohydrate source. Again, good quality proteins. Sprouts, different types of sprouts can be included. If they're not just able to have or not having the boiled sprouts, you can make a sprout chart, or else in the murmura chart only you can add these boiled or cooked sprouts. You can add chaat masala, you can add lemon, you can add mint, you can add different flavors. All the herbs are all good for them. That is just going to re-energize their cells internally. Okay. Golden milk, that's what is milk haldi, traditionally very famous in India. I truly recommend this, along with a pinch of nutmeg and cardamom powder. I recommend, if the kid is having sleeping problems, you can add just 1 or 2 strands of saffron as well. That will help big time. Okay. Even poppy seeds, that is khaskhas, which we call it in Marathi, that can be added to this golden milk so that it helps good sleep, good sound sleep for the kids. Okay. Herbs, my personal favorite, explore all the kitchen masalas into the kids' diet. Okay. What do I mean when I say this? You can add all the herbs to their diets. You can add all the spices and condiments to their diet. So you can add cardamom, pepper, cloves, cinnamon, lemongrass, mint, coriander, basil, all of these. All right. Even the other herbs you can include are, you can just take the pieces of lemon leaves and just tear them and put it into their kadas or into their infused waters. It will help them big time. Okay. Sliced cucumbers you can put into their waters, infused water. It will help them big. Jeera can be added. Ajwain can be added. Very good. Turmeric, that is haldi, that can be added. So all of these herbs can be added in while you prepare their vegetables or parathas or their curries. And also the seeds, that is til, that is gingerly seeds, poppy seeds, which I mentioned about, pumpkin seeds, watermelon seeds, niger seeds, flax seeds, all of these can be added. You can just put them while you roll out the parathas or chapati for the kids, or else you can put them into the porridges or the smoothies or the any kind of desserts which you, if you are going to make them. Okay. So seeds can be added into milk products or into the paratha dough, and all these herbs and spices can be added into the vegetables, curries and dals. So you are including all of these immune boosting foods, all of these which are rich in antioxidants also, right? So antioxidants, specifically, these are responsible to re-energize the systems, detoxify the system. So on daily basis, जैसे हमारे घर में कचरा तैयार होता है, वैसे ही बॉडी में भी होता है. हमारा काम ये है कि वो कचरा हर रोज बाहर निकलना चाहिए. You have to flush out all the crap or all the toxins which are saturated or which are formed, which are synthesized on day-to-day basis. The most important chemicals or the most important agents which can do this role amazingly are the antioxidants. Antioxidants help to cleanse your systems internally. Okay, simple foods, no need to make it very fancy or very difficult. It shouldn't be time consuming. Here also you can see different colors are there. The same thing I want in the diet as well, right? So few foods I have listed down here which are rich in antioxidants. Okay, whole grains, their husk, and as well the nuts, they're rich in vitamin E. All the dark green leafy vegetables rich in iron, folic acid. Even ragi, very good source of iron and calcium. Okay, onion, garlic, they are having this antioxidant named as quercetin, which is responsible for cleansing the blood. All right, fruits and vegetables, all the dark orange, yellow, green colored things, rich in carotenoids, good in vitamin A, good for eye health. Okay, nowadays, last 2 years, they were just having the screen time because of online schools, right? So try to include these fruits and vegetables more so that it helps the eye health as well. All right, oats, very, very good in soluble fiber, rich in antioxidants, help the gut. They are easy for digestion. So kids who are having upset stomach, poor digestive system, you can include oats. That will help the digestion process. Tomatoes, very important, dark red color, easily available, rich in lycopene, absolutely a blood cleanser, and it helps the skin to regenerate, even the blood cells. Okay. And all the green colored vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, all of the citrus fruits, rich in vitamin C, again a blood cleanser, very, very important for blood purification. So the slide itself is so colorful. I want the food plate also to be like that. All right. Very importantly, I've mentioned nuts and seeds separately in another slide because I want you all to include these into your kids' diet. Daily, make sure they have around 40 to 50 grams of nuts. That is a handful of nuts, a fistful of nuts. All right. Why nuts? Nuts are rich in vitamin E, magnesium, rich in B complex vitamins, rich in good quality fatty acids, which are actually responsible or important for the brain health, the cognitive development, the cognitive, because kids, they have to remember so many things. They have to outperform the competition, the sports, the studies, the presentations, the different assignments they have to do, right? So they have to be productive all the time. They have to think out of the box now, right? So for that, to help their brain health, nuts and seeds are very, very important. Okay, because these are rich in good quality fatty acids, omega-3 fatty acids, which you must all have heard about it. So you can include one fistful of nuts. All right. So into this, what you need to include is, very importantly, almonds you can include, walnuts you can include. I generally recommend them soaked form, so you can soak them overnight and then next day morning discard the excess water and then use it. All right. Other nuts which are recommended are pistas and cashews. I don't recommend really because they're very, very high in saturated fats, but almonds you can include, walnuts you can include, and the other nuts and seeds I mentioned about, that is flax seeds you can include, watermelon seeds, pumpkin seeds, niger seeds, all of them are excellent. Gingerly seeds, poppy seeds, excellent sources of all the micronutrients, you can include them. If you include around 50 grams of all this in total, I'm sure the muscle cramps, muscle ache, in general lethargy of the kid should disappear within 15 to 20 days if taken properly. So here are some examples of the healthy snacks. Many a times the mid-evening time becomes very dangerous or very, very challenging for us what to give to the kids to eat in this time slot, right? So you can include all this variety of colors, all this variety of snacks into their diet. Okay, so corn chaat, sprout chaat, murmura bhel can be included, or some dry snacks like dal dokli or some dokli can be included. Fresh fruit juices, sugarcane juice, fresh. Please be aware of the hygiene when I mention fresh, okay? That can be included, or simply the whole fruit, just pick it up, wash it and eat it. All right, lemon water, excellent electrolyte replacement for the kids, specifically after they come back from the school or from sports or from playing. Definitely you can include lemon water, salt, sugar, excellent electrolyte replenishment for them, and even the energy stores are again regenerated. Bananas, very important, or else simply the Indian snacks you can include. I also recommend chikkis or laddus or energy bars, definitely can be included into their diets. All right, even the high protein biscuits are available. Biscuits I generally don't recommend too much, but if you really want to opt a high protein diet or the kid is involved into the sports activities, you can opt the Threptin biscuits or the high protein biscuits for that matter. All right, but try to avoid the bakery items as much as possible. Too much of cookies and cakes and biscuits, not a good choice to go with, right? Because so many additives and preservatives are added into them. Sugar, which is so inflammatory, too much of sugar I do not recommend at all. Okay, so you can include these, or you can make recipes out of these and then include it to their diet, right? So many a times I find that the kids are picky eaters, or they just refuse whatever is being made, right? And parents keep on trying different combinations, different recipes, and then still it is like they are just not having anything, right? So if the kid is refusing the green leafy vegetables, you can just replace it with something else which is going to give you the same nutrition, right? So if the green leafy vegetables are not opted by the kid, you can just include deep orange yellow colored vegetables and fruits. Okay, if milk is not taken, or किड्स नहीं दूध नहीं पीता है, ये भी मैंने कई बार सुना है, राइट? सो milk is not that mandatory in the diet. You can get the calcium, you can get all the proteins which you get from milk from other food sources also. As I said, ragi, that is nachni, is very rich in calcium and good quality protein. You can include that into the diet. Or else you can use the flavored yogurts, or else you can make the milkshakes, or else you can make the desserts like porridges, and then you can give them. Or else while you knead the dough, there only you can add the milk. All right. Even if milk is not there in the daily diet, but the kid is having good quality protein and good calcium intake, do not worry about the milk intake, or do not be very obsessed about it. Okay. If they do not prefer dals, you can add these things like paneer or soy, or the non-vegetarian food items can be added depending on the food choices, of course, depending on the allergies, of course. Okay, if the normal fruits they don't find it tasty or not palatable, ऐसे ही fruit खाने में मजा नहीं आता है, you can make smoothies, you can make milkshakes, you can make puddings or custards, or else उस पे आप सिर्फ हल्का सा चाट मसाला नमक डाल के उनको दे सकते हैं. Okay, but make sure that at least this goes into their body, then the body knows how to digest and assimilate. Okay, so my say is on day-to-day basis, say yes to particular things in the diet. Homemade cow's ghee, I strongly recommend this. Growing age, high calorie requirement, good quality fatty acids. All right, 1 to 2 teaspoons. Don't overdo. Do not overdo anything in the diet. Anything in excess is going to be harmful. So find a balance. Okay, then around 50 grams, that is handful fistful of the dry fruits and nuts and seeds. 200 grams of fruits, that is 2 servings of fruits in a day. Okay, around 100 grams of salads. Either you make a cucumber, koshimber, raita, or salad, or some exotic salad, some nice dressing of salads like honey and chili flakes, like that. Oregano, thyme can be put into the salads. You can go with that. You can keep it as simple as just sliced salad of onion, tomato, cucumber, carrot, radish. Absolutely fine. The aim here is 100 grams of salad intake has to be there. The things which I love to add into the salads are these, because these are the most important things. They are going to increase the iron absorption, they are going to make the digestion easier, and they are actually going to help the kid to nourish the body internally. Okay, so lemon, mint, coriander, jeera, all of these are the good options. All right, hydrating drinks, very important is the hydration. Do not wait till the time the kid feels thirsty. Please guide your kids, or if the kids are also there in the meeting, make sure that don't wait till the kid is feeling thirsty. That means the body is already dehydrated and then it is demanding the water. So I generally recommend try to have sips of water at regular intervals. Okay, you can infuse the water, जैसे आप नींबू डाल सकते हैं, lemon water you can have, mint water you can have, cucumber water you can have jeera water or ajwain water or plain water. That's also absolutely fine. But make sure that good water intake is there. Because they play around, they sweat a lot, so the water requirements are higher. Around 1.5 to 2 liter, 1 to 1.5 below 10 years, and above 10 years, around 1.5 to 2 liter of water intake should be there. Milk, again, nowadays adulteration, lactose intolerance, casein intolerance cases are increasing. So I would say if you're getting it from a good quality provider, you can procure it from a hygienic place, organic milk, you can definitely opt it. Okay, around 200 to 250 ml of milk can be definitely opted in a day. All right, or else if the milk is not digested by the kid, curd and buttermilk is a better option. Curd, buttermilk, provided it is homemade, or even the homemade pickles, very rich source of probiotics. Probiotics are the actual microorganisms which help the gut to remain healthy, which help the digestion, which keep the intestines healthy, which improve the absorption of micronutrients like B12, vitamin. Okay, so definitely try to include them into their diet. All right. Healthy snacks, mid-time snacks, or the dry snacks, which we now need to give to the school while they are in the school, or else while they come back from the school, right? So some dry snacks, easy, handy snacks they prefer, which they can quickly eat. Our focus is whenever they want to eat something which is quick or less in quantity, how do I increase the quality, improve the quality of that food, right? So for example, if I say chicky, rather than making it in the sugar, you can just opt the chicky which is made with jaggery. right? In laddus, rather than just opting the dry fruits laddus, you can opt the laddus which are having mixed flours, wherein ragi is involved into it, wherein besan is also added to the flours, wherein wheat is added. So multi-atta laddus, better, good quality proteins are also added. Okay, rather than depending on too much of fried or oily food, you can always prefer these snacks. What we should avoid, what we should say no to. Very important, the junk food, highly encouraged by the parents themselves nowadays. Irony for me, but yes, that is happening, that many parents do encourage eating this because they feel that, okay, it's easy going, it's easily available, easily made, and quickly done. But as parents, we should be little alert and mindful is what I believe, and try to say no or keep it to minimum. When I said in last slide, I said the word sometimes, right? So we should keep that word into mind, be mindful about it. Sometimes if the kid has had burger on one Sunday, throughout the week make sure the kid eats the healthy food, and tell the kid that if you eat throughout the week, if you're going to eat healthy, then okay, fine, Sunday again we opt something else. But Sunday you're opting the burger or pizza, and then after 2 or 3 days you are again going to opt some pav bhaji or some missile or some which is high in fat and bakery product, and again Saturdays and Sunday comes, right? So 4 days in a week consecutively it is just junk food, empty calories, zero nutrition. You're taking down the nutrition status of the body, it's going back somewhere. It will take more time to come back to the normal and then move ahead, right? So don't deteriorate the nutrition status of the body. Try to nourish it on the daily basis, in fact. Or for example, one meal in the day is junk food, processed food, or it is outside meal. Make sure throughout the day you're eating or giving healthy food to the babies, to your kids. All right. For example, breakfast can be healthy like nuts, milk, or boiled eggs and milk, like that, or some cereal exchange with that. Mid-morning can just give a fruit. Lunch can be normal roti, sabzi, salad, or else the mixed flour khichdi kind of thing, pulao kind of thing, wherein you add sprouts to it, wherein you add dals to it, and then dinner can be a outside meal, right? Excess of bakery items, maida items, absolutely no. Excess of screen time, specifically eating while you're sitting in front of the screen, absolutely a no. The hormones, the neurological signaling, the balance between the neurons and the gut, absolutely gone for a toss. So please make sure they eat in a quiet environment, relaxed environment. They take more time for eating. Don't just, they just finish the food in 5 or 10 minutes. Not good. Let them eat for a little more time. Okay. So that's very, very important. Caffeine intake, if the kids are opting tea and coffee, really a bad idea, specifically if their productivity is expected to be more. These two things should be avoided. Okay. Give them the light food in this slot. In fact, the fruits, the multicolored fruits, easily digestible. They will not feel heavy. They will not feel sluggish. They will be energetic all the time. At the same time, they get good nutrients. Very important. What should we give in the lunch boxes? Now the kids are back to the physical school and we have to think what should be given to them, right? So make sure the lunch box is also planned properly. You can do the menu planning. You can pre-plan the week's menu. Keep it handy so that you're not confused every day morning what to give, right? All the raw material is ready with you. You just prep and give it, right? 1/3 of the daily requirement should be given from that lunch box, because majority of the time they are at school around 5 to 6 or 7 hours, right? So in that time slot you have to make sure they get good nutrition, right? So the lunch box can always be balanced properly, right? In the lunch boxes, make sure you include one exchange or one serving, that is 100 grams of greens, either the salad or the vegetable, or you can add that into dal or parathas or curries, right? Good quality protein also must be included. So curd can be given, raita can be given, sometimes a little glass of lassi in a tin can be given. Egg preparations, if allowed in the schools, that can be given. Paneer rolls can be made, right? Paneer paratha, paneer burji can be made, that can be given. So combinations of proteins and vegetables together will make the meal very, very healthy. It will improve the quality. Again, to go a step forward, you can add the herbs, curry leaves, again the til, ajwain. Okay, all of these are going to add the flavor as well as the taste, as well as the quality of the food will be improved, right? Avoid the monotony. They will not eat if they find every day roti sabzi, roti sabzi, roti sabzi, roti sabzi in the tiffins. they will bring it back home. Right? Happens, right? So very important, get the variety. All right. So here are some examples I've listed down. You can try these, or maybe you're trying already. So vegetable pulao, in the pulao, you can add veggies as well as paneer. You give little raita along with it and a fruit. So you get the carbs, you get the proteins, and you get the fats also, because in pulao, you're going to add ghee. It's a balanced meal along with all the vegetables. You're going to give the micronutrients also. Vegetable or paneer paratha with curd, the same thing. Dal paratha, you can add different flours together to make the paratha. And add chopped green leafy vegetables. You can add mint, excellent flavor it gives. You can add the pureed vegetables like palak. That will be also very good. Pickle, preferably homemade pickle. Again, a very good source of probiotics. So I highly recommend pickles in little quantity for the kids. Or else you can just have sometimes, again the word sometimes, once in 15 days, you can just give a sandwich wherein you add lots of vegetables, carrot, tomatoes, onion slices. You properly make the salad and then give it to them. All right. If they're eating the sandwich that day, throughout the day, the meals need to be balanced and healthy only. Right. Then again, you cannot add the junk or biscuits or, other bakery items in that day. Right. Or else you can also try all the South Indian food preparations. Rice and dal together makes it a complete protein. So all rice and dal food preparations together, they are very healthy and I highly recommend them. So upama, idli, uttapam, appe, all of these can be given with little bit of coconut chutney. Again here, protein, carbohydrates, fats, all three are taken care. Right? If you add the vegetables, micronutrients will be taken care along with the fruit, of course. Right? Mixed vegetable khichdi, the best combination. So you can opt majorly for the dinners, wherein you give a roasted papad, a bowl of raita or curd, and a khichdi. Excellent balanced meal for the kids. Okay. Dal chila, or again, you can, as I have mentioned, paneer you can add, right? Soy flour you can add, right? And then you can make the wraps, you can make the tikkis, you can make the parathas, you can make just like a normal chapati and roll something into it and give it to them, right? Chutneys, different types of chutneys. As I said, the flax seeds or niger seed chutney or til chutney or groundnut chutney or coconut chutney. It can be just added or put as a spread. Rather than putting sauce or mayonnaise, you can just sprinkle these chutneys into your rolls and then just wrap the roll. Okay, even into rice preparations, even into dals, you can add all these chutneys. That will give a good flavor as well as it will improve the nutrition quality. Or else separately, you can also serve the chutneys into the dabbas, right? So till, that is gingerly seeds, niger seeds, flax seeds, all of these can be added into their diets. Pumpkin seeds, watermelon seeds, into the raitas you can add, into the desserts you can add, into the wraps you can add, so that it gives a crunch also while they eat it. Very important, the physical activity. Okay, we talked a lot about the diet, about the micronutrients, different options to be given into their tiffins. How do we tackle and balance the diet throughout the day? At the same time, make sure they're active throughout the day. Now the physical school is started, so activity is not an issue. But if at all, if any kids have opted the online schooling, make sure the kids are active so that it helps the digestion and overall metabolism of the kids. At the same time, very important is hydration. You have to make sure that the kids flush their body internally as well. It's just not the external cleaning, but the internally flushing of the internal systems is very important. Okay, so few tips. How do we improve the water intake? We can give them targets. By 11 they finish 1 liter or half a liter. By 2 or 3 they finish again half a liter, and by 7 or 8 in the night they again finish half a liter of water. So we give them targets or reminders or alarms, or 3 different colored bottles, 3 different shapes of bottles, so that it becomes interesting for them. A little fun can be added to it. Even for that, you can make different shapes, different sizes, different cuts. Cookie cutters can be used so that you add a little fun to their diet for like younger kids, I'm saying, right? Very important, you can add different things to the water. As I said, the infused water, that can also be added. Now this is rainy season. Again, the cough, cold tendency, going into the crowd and then again getting the infections frequently is going to happen. So please start giving the kadha preparation to your kids. All the kitchen herbs into our kitchen, like cardamom, cloves, cinnamon, can be boiled together. Add a piece of little ginger to it, boil it well, and then just give the kids to sip it when it's warm. You can add a pinch of turmeric while you strain it. Okay, so that will boost the immunity, that will help the lungs to regenerate, that will remove all the toxins from the body, right? Now, we have spoken a lot, right? What should be given. But what is the current scenario? What is the real problem of today? What's the real present tense, right? It is this, okay? So, less of physical activity, more of easy to eat food, ready-made food, processed food, junk, tasty. We take care of our taste buds so much that kids forget about their body, and they just think of, taste acha hona chahiye. It should be highly palatable, right? Popping the pills frequently, feeling ill, feeling dull, having headache, having nausea, having lethargy, not sleeping well, just pop up over the counter drugs. All of these are the real problems of today. And we really need to change the picture, right? So be little mindful about the kids' routines, about their choices, about their food, so that everything is taken care. If the food is taken care, almost 80 to 90% of the things are taken care, right? So very importantly, when we tell the kids, before that we need to be the role model, right? We need to practice before we preach it, right? So because children will learn more from what we are rather than what we teach them. If we tell them do this, they won't, but if they see us doing that particular thing, they'll definitely copy us, they will mimic us, and they will start unknowingly doing it. They won't even realize that they have started doing something good. So very importantly, we need to be the role models. We need to avoid the junk. We need to be active. We need to drink water. We need to tell them the importance of balanced meal. When we are eating the good meals, they will tend to eat. But if we don't opt the good meals, they will never. Right? So very important is to improve the productivity, to improve the immunity, to improve the health of your kid. You are the role model, right? So you need to work on your health. Many of the slides are applicable to you as well, to your age group as well. So I truly believe that every one of you is going to implement these things for you as well as your kids, so that the effect is faster and it is visible also, right? These are some of the sources, and that's all from my end. So let's do our job well and help our kids become better and improve their health as well as their immunity. Any questions from your end? We are open to questions now. No questions? Early morning breakfast is a challenge. Yes, I agree. It's a challenge when it is not pre-planned. Okay, so pre-plan the menu, pre-plan a weekly menu, and believe me, it helps big time. I have done this myself, because it becomes so easy that you know what is to be cooked, right? And the pre-preparation is done, or the material which is needed is ready, right? So then it won't take time. Okay, so or else if cooking is a challenge, I would recommend just a fruit, just a glass of milk, or boiled egg whites and nuts, handful of nuts. That's all. No cooking required. That is going to give everything: calorie, protein, fats, and micronutrients, everything. I mostly provide my daughter with 1.5 chapati. Will it be good? May I know the age of the kid, ma'am? Or it's, sir, I don't know. Child takes only small, 8 years. Okay, so for 8 years, I would say 1.5 chapati for lunch is good enough, provided you are giving a fruit as well along with it, and some nuts, so the kid will get everything. Okay, or else what else you can do is you can just make thick roti. Okay, what I generally do is, my kid doesn't eat two rotis, like the number matters to him. So what I do is I make a bigger roti and a thick roti. so that only one roti is eaten, but I know that the quantity eaten is more. Okay, so that way you can manage. Okay, so for kids, you need to be very experimental, right? All the permutation and combination need to be worked upon, right? So if only one roti the kid needs to eat, that is another option. 1.5 roti is pretty good. If the kid is hungry, if the kid wants to eat more, please provide more, because if the body is giving it the signal, then definitely the needs are more. Child takes only small portion, so that's fine. Okay, sometimes we need to tell ourselves that it's okay. Okay, as a parent, every kid is different, so you need to be okay, and you need to understand the body type of every kid. If the child eats small portion, it's fine, increase the frequency. Okay, if the quantity is lesser, increase the frequency. हर थोड़े समय पे आप थोड़ा थोड़ा कुछ तो देते रहिए. जस्ट एक बॉइल्ड एग दे दिया, या तो जस्ट एक फ्रूट दे दिया, जस्ट अ ग्लास ऑफ जूस दे दिया, जस्ट हैंडफुल ऑफ नट्स एक कटोरी में रख दिए. जस्ट टेल देम टू ईट लाइक दैट. ओके, या रोटी सब्जी दाल चावल पूरा खाना एक साथ नहीं खाता है बच्चा, तो दैट्स आल्सो फाइन. यू कैन जस्ट डिवाइड द मील्स. Like around 7:30 you can give roti sabji, and around 9 or 8:39 you can give the dal and rice. Okay, or else in the evening I generally suggest one pot meals, very new, add rice, dal, lots of vegetables and herbs, make a khichdi or pulao kind of thing, add good amount of ghee and give it to the child. So they're eating just one katori, but the calorific value or the quality of the food is high, right? Okay, breakfast along with is given, so is it good? Yes, it is good. It's fine along with 1.5 roti, so it is good enough, sir. Okay, my daughters are 10 and 14 years old. How much roti should be given? Ideally, 2 rotis depending on the size. 6-inch diameter, if I consider for a roti, then definitely 2.5 rotis can be given. Again, the weight of the kids matter here. The type of activity they are involved in is something which we need to look upon. But for a normal kid, I would say 2.5 rotis must be given along with the fruit, because 10 and 14 is the growing age. Hormonal changes are happening, demands are higher. So definitely good quality food and good quantity of the food should be given. My kid often have cough and cold, but he is not ready to have haldi milk or kadha. What should I do? All right, very good question. Commonly having cough and cold, definitely the immunity is down, right? If the kid is not ready to include these things in the diet, you can add it into the food preparations. ओके, जैसे अगर आप पराठा बना रहे हो तो उसमें पिंच ऑफ सिनेमन पाउडर आप डाल दो, दैट इज फाइन. अब जिंजर बढ़ा सकते हो खाने में, सब्जी में ग्रेट करके आप डाल सकते हो, या जिंजर ग्रेट करके just take the juice out of it, add a little bit of organic honey to it, and that can be given to the kid. That will also relieve the throat congestion or cough and cold to greater extent. Ajwain can be added to the diet itself. ओके, आप कोई सब्जी बना रहे हो उसमें आप अजवाइन डाल सकते हो, आप पराठा बना रहे हो अजवाइन का पराठा, it's very tasty, yummy, and kids will like it, and even it will help the immunity. Okay, include citrus fruits into their diet. Include the fruits which are dark purple, like berries you can include, jamuns you can include, right? So all of these will improve the immunity of the kids. So it's just not the kadha or the herbs. Of course, herbs can be included into different food preparations, and to improve the immunity, the different colored fruits can be included, right? What to do if the child is not focusing or not attentive during the class? Everyone's problem, right? सुनता ही नहीं है, ध्यान ही नहीं देता है ना. So this is very common. Now they're getting shifted to a new world, like, you know, physical school, then online school, again then back to physical school. Give them little time to settle. Okay, that's what, as parents, we really need to understand it's okay. All right. Secondly, for this, different exercises will help. In diet, of course, the nuts and seeds will be very good option to include to improve the stability or concentration or the cognitive power of the kid or the memory. Different exercises, concentration exercises, there are a number of YouTube videos available on YouTube, which are just 1 or 2 minutes videos, which help to improve the concentration of the kids. You can try that. That will reduce the instability and make the child more stable, more attentive. Reduce the screen time. The flashy images, a very highly distracting thing. So when a steady thing comes in front of their eyes, they're not able to concentrate. That is something distracting for them because they're used to those flashy images, the moving images in front of their eyes because of screen time. So reduce the screen time. That will also help him concentrate more into the classes. In rainy season and in winter season, lime water after coming back home is recommended. Cold lime water definitely not recommended, but if the energy levels are depleted, then room temperature or even little warm lime water you can opt. Okay, it is also equally tasty. You can add a pinch of salt. A warm lemon water can be definitely offered to the kid. Just like green tea, black tea, this warm lemon water is good option. Or else soups can be offered. So vegetable soups can be a very good option. If the kid is eating non-veg, then paya soup or chicken broth or just clear vegetable broth, warm, which is of course a very good option. To these broths and soups, you can add n number of herbs again, right? Ginger can be added, garlic can be added, oregano, thyme can be added, lemongrass can be added, right? So that is also a good option. Can we include lemon juice during cough and cold? See, during cough and cold, the vitamin C की जो खटास है वो अलग है और खट्टी चीजें जैसे खट्टा दही खट्टा कर्ड बटर मिल्क खाने की जो खटास है दैट इज डिफरेंट ओके विटामिन सी इज एक्चुअली गुड to improve the immunity and help in cough and cold also. We have seen that. Okay, so warm lemon water can be taken, but if you think that okay nahi dena chahiye, it is absolutely your choice. Clinically you can give, not an issue, but if you want to opt that आपको नहीं देना है लेमन तो ठीक है, बाकी के फ्रूट्स आप इंक्लूड कर सकते हो जिससे कि विटामिन सी मिलेगा. ओके My son has morning sickness. Okay, he feels nauseated after taking the morning breakfast. Rest of the day, his diet is fine. He's 5 years old. So, sir, if just check out the quantity of the food you're giving. Do not force the kid to eat fast. Do not force the kids to eat as early as possible after they wake up. Uh, Wake up time, sleep time needs to be worked upon. That is one. Half an hour after waking up, you can start just with a fruit. बनाना दे दो, आप एक एप्पल दे दो, उसके बाद में आधे घंटे के बाद एक गिलास दूध और या तो फिर आपका जो कोई ब्रेकफास्ट है आप दे सकते हो. दैट विल हेल्प. डिवाइड द मील. अगर आप ब्रेकफास्ट उसको बहुत ज्यादा लग रहा है, उससे नौशिया हो रहा है, तो यू कैन जस्ट डिवाइड द मील्स. ओके, आई हैव टू सन. एल्डर वन इज 12 years old who is thin and 10 years who is chubby. How do I adjust the food preparations? Very nice question. So the thing is, for 12-year-old who is thin, you can add a little bit of more of ghee into his diet. You can serve little more quantity or more meals. Okay, you can serve around 6 small meals to the kid who is 12 years old. For the 10-year-old, definitely you can serve only 4 meals, wherein you can start his meal with the salads. पहले आप salad दे दो, उसके बाद में रोटी सब्जी डाल दे दो. और जो थिन है उसके खाने में आप घी डाल के देना है और आपको 5 से 6 बार एक मील एक्स्ट्रा देना है. ओके, हर्षा, माय चाइल्ड इज 3-year-old in vitamin D deficiency. Okay, so for vitamin D deficiency, if it is too much, definitely the medicines will help. If it is average, then sunlight exposure. To have the active form of vitamin D synthesized in your body, you really need to have sunlight exposure, which is challenging right now in the current scenario. But I would strongly recommend good physical activity, playing a lot, and then good quality sunlight exposure. In diet, the foods which are rich in good quality fats, they help the absorption of vitamin D. So nuts and seeds again is the answer here for improving the vitamin D absorption. My daughter is always tired and a little bit dumpy. Means she don't like exercise. Any suggestions for this at night walk and after dinner? Yes, after dinner night walk is also fine for the kids, not at all a problem. But throughout the day they should be active is what I feel. So you can engage them into your house course. That's one. Engage them into small activities. Ye la ke do, ye karo, jao, dekho. Wherein she gets up and she is just active. Do not focus on real good, very high intensity exercise, but even if she is active throughout the day, that's also pretty good enough. Okay. Second thing is some physical activity exercises, like in school, if there are any classes or if any hobby she likes, you can just get her enrolled into those activities wherein the physical activity is automatically going to increase. But after dinner also, you can go for a walk with her. That's also fine. All right, I think I have covered all the questions from both the things. All right, thank you all. Yes, done. Thank you all for your active participation. I think the questions are not coming up now. So we will end up the session here. Any queries, any guidances regarding the diet or regarding any help, we do have our OPD in the hospital. 9 to 5:30 every day, Monday to Saturday. So you can definitely get back to us. The website link also I'll share so that you can just get in touch with us if any help is required, any more sessions or guidelines are required. We will be definitely more than happy to help you all. PPTs we are not really allowed to share, but definitely the RDA table I would love to share. So I'll share that with my team so that they can get back to you with that. All right, fine. We'll just close the session. Thank you all and have a good evening. Bye.